Meanwhile, the war on terror weighing heavily on voter minds. New Fox News polls this morning show that when it comes to handling terrorism, voters are split, with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton tied at 47%. However, when it comes to handling our nation's nuclear arsenal, voters put far more trust in Clinton. She leads Trump 56 to 34% on that issue. I want to bring in Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer. Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us, sir. Your reaction to that latest number in the polls?
Well, there's two things we have to consider regarding that poll. First, the Democrats have been pillaring Mr. Trump hard with all sorts of issues that are going to damage his credibility. I think that's what they're trying to do. Secondly, as much as I think people would tend to give someone the benefit of the doubt, Ms. Trump has no record. While I'll give Ms. Clinton this, her record is there and it's all bad. One of those things is at least she's been there, and I'm not sure if that's a good way of thinking or not. The bottom line to me is Mr. Trump's going to have to do far better regarding raising these numbers by trying to show who he's going to pick to manage those programs, who he's going to be basically have the Secretary of Defense, who he's going to have as the folks who are actually managing those programs, because he doesn't have a record. Ms. Clinton, on the other hand, has to overcome a lot of headwinds, as you mentioned before, regarding some of the issues that dog her, such as Benghazi, such as the Russian reset, such as the North Korean debacle, the North Koreans, which supposedly negotiated away their nuclear program, and here it is back again.
Yeah, that could be one way, actually, he gets out of this slump that he's in right now, if he announces a credible team of people around him. Can he do it?
I don't, because, you know, the nuclear thing is this larger issue of being baited with a tweet. People don't trust him. He gets so angry. He flies off so quickly. I don't know if he can really change that at this point. So maybe if he turns to someone else.
He has to change it, though. Like, he can't keep insulting people like he's 11 years old.
It's not going to work.
He absolutely does, especially people that he needs, like Paul Ryan, going after, you know, endorsing his opponent. I just feel like he needs to get beyond the ego thing, because this is not necessary, and it's clearly affecting him negatively.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
Colonel, who would you, Secretary of Defense, name somebody. Go. Who would be a good Secretary of Defense for Donald Trump?
Well, look, I'm going to name my friend Mike Flynn. I mean, Lieutenant General Flynn, I think, is a former director of DIA, knows a lot of what goes on. You know, he's a friend of mine, so I think he'd be a perfect guy. But I think more importantly,
and he's
he
a
knows
supporter.
the depth. Well, and he's always a supporter.
Yeah.
And I think there's a handful of other folks who I think would be also equally well. I mean, look, I would look to the Reagan bench, who, during the Cold War, you know, one of my dear friends and mentors is Bud McFarland. Unfortunately, they're all getting in their 80s and stuff, but I think that you need to look at people, Maria, who actually had success during the time they were in. Let's face it, the current crew, like this deal with Iran, the $400 million, that's just one of a number of debacles. So what you need to look at a bench which actually had winners on it, not a bench who had losers on it.
Yeah.